The EG Price Action Bot. New graphics user interface.
Hey, just a fast recording on what I've been up to. When the strategy is being added, this one will pop up. We have the options to change the bias. We can unclick and click, and we can enable the setup. I have my debugging tool down here where I can kind of see that it's also doing what I want, but it's more for me. The way it works, that a simple user could just load in the setup, change what kind of strategy they want, what interest type, what exit type, and this will be enough for them. And they can just enable it and sit and look at it, and they can, if they want to change the bias, they can click on it and then just let it run as normal. If this user then want to do a change during the day, they want to, let's say they want to add a contract, they had a bad loss, they want to do double contract. They can click here, and now they have the options to change the amount of contract that the system is using right now. So they can change it up, and the code knows, and we can also say that we want to change the entry and exit, and now it knows. When we are done changing it, we can leave it as this, or we can also minimize it so we don't look at it and get more room on the screen. This way the user can change during the day the setup manually. There is an option for daily target. We have it here. Click on it, and it will use the settings that was added in the template when you set up the strategy, where you have a daily target and a daily stop. And the way you enable it, it will click by clicking this one. This is just hard-coded, but the idea is that it can give you an overview of where far you are from the target, the daily target, with the dollar sign, so you don't look at money. I think is a very cool idea. And there's also a percent based on where it is in that, from the start to the daily target, and here it is from the start to the daily loss, so where it is in the process. But if you want to see more information, we can click on this one more time and we'll have some more details. But if somebody really want to trade with dailies and they don't want to look at the numbers, they can do this. The cool thing is also that if I wanted to have it like this, I can click this one again and it will hide all the other options. So again, it's not filling out that much. And I can also click on this 2 times again, and I can have only this one. So I have the little graph showing how the day is going with the daily targets. That's the daily target system. I also added the slots. The idea is that when you set up the template for the strategy, you added in what times the slot should be. I don't think it's a smart idea to try to update them during the day, because it can invite a lot of issues. So for now, I think it's smartest to not do it. But let's say we have put in the slot 1. The idea is that it starts at the open, and I want to have this slot enabled. I'll click on this one, and when the time comes to the start time of the slot, it will automatically go up here and enable up here. And when the slot ends, it will disable it again, and also exit the trades if it's in any trades. But what about the settings? This one here is more, this is the master settings that is being run, But when I have different slots, I might want to have different settings or make different amount of contracts. The idea is that we can modify them. So we have slot 1, 2, and 3, and I also want to add these in here afterwards, so you can go in and change them. So let's say in slot 1 we want to use 2 contracts, and in slot 2 we want to use 5 contracts, and we also want a bigger stop ticks, and this is it. We also, in this slot 2, we don't want to be long bias, so we will disable long. And then the idea is that when we get to this slot, we are coming in with a timeline, kind of, coming here, start the slot. It will then take these settings and copy it up here and overwrite this setting up here and then enable it. The slot will end and will exit trades, and we will come to number 2 slot and we'll copy these settings we have in this row up here and enable it again. This is the idea. We also want to be able to hide these settings so we don't mess around with them when we are happy with it. You click on this one, it goes away. And we can also minimize again so we don't use so much of the screen, and we can mix these two together. So we have the daily, so I can have both of them turned on so I can see how my daily is going, and I can verify that my slots are still on. If I'm in doubt, I'm like, oh no, did I turn on slot 2? I can see that it's on. I can also set it so now I know they are enabled, and say I don't want to look at them, so I can just turn them off and then minimize it. And then they are turned on in the background, but I don't see it. So I save again room on the screen. Then the idea is to have this alert. This one is not done. The idea is to have a extra space that is popping up where I have a button. I can say enable push to mobile via Telegram. The idea is to have a Telegram personal account, a group where we can push from the code the message into, and then the user will get his push notifications on his phone. So that could be he wants to only enable it when he goes away from his computer, right? So he enables it and then it will give push notification. It could be enter trade, exit trade, $5. Could be the push notification that we are pushing. But it also could be something that we can control. Then I'm also looking into maybe some logs. Could also be very cool. So like a timestamp, and then say the user changed the interest settings at this time. Just so kind of having a timestamps logs of what is going on. Also that the code was taking a trade, because we can use it a little bit for the alerts, and we can also use a little bit for stats. And again, it's not done, but it could be cool to kind of have it all integrated together, so we can log that the user is using this interest settings, and we can go into the stats and then start to make some cool stats about it. So it could be with these 2 settings, it's going very good today. You are up 3 out of 4. Overall, with all the different settings, you're up 7 out of 8. Basic settings based on what has been selected and what time slots we are in.
Subscribe at egindicators.com.